All right. So now I want to talk about Zaya Wade. I put her new 17 article in the chat. All right. So, our princess, our Black American trans princess, is going to college. Oh my God. She is growing up so fast. So, Zaya Wade was featured in 17 magazine this month. And yo, like I'm just excited about to see trans girls grow up. I think I don't want to say it started with her, but on a visibility level, I feel like it started with Jazz Jennings, because we got to see Jazz when Jazz was like five something. I think we first met Jazz when she interviewed with Barbara Walters when she was like 5 years old. And so seeing Jazz grow up, and Jazz is in her mid 20s now, early 20s. How old is Jazz Jennings now? Let me look it up. I know she's in college. How old is Jazz Jennings now?
24 years old.
Yeah, Jazz is in her mid 20s, baby. 24. Florida girl. Libra. She was born October the 6th. Yes. So Jazz, and so for us to see a Black girl that we have seen grow up, and we see her living in privilege. Of course, her father is and her step. Is it back normal? Okay. I really don't know what's going on, y'all. It hadn't been this bad. I've seen it happen like a couple of weeks ago, but this is being weird. Something has changed within me. Something is not the same. Rules of someone else's game. Okay. All right. So what I was talking about was Zaya Wade being on 17. We have seen we have seen Jazz Jennings grow up. We have seen Zaya Wade now growing up, and she is literally going to college. She is on the 17 magazine. She's going to college. She's living this princess life. And I'm loving seeing a Black trans little princess. Have we seen that before? We haven't seen that. I think we've seen um what's a similar thing? Not trans, but I think this is definitely the first time that we've seen a trans Black girl grow up in privilege. Have we seen that? Have we seen that before? I think this is the first time we've seen that. Of course, we have queer people grow up in privilege. Like when we think about like EJ, I think like EJ, like EJ, EJ Johnson, um, but not a trans specific. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's dope. Jazz Jennings didn't grow up in privilege. Well, I guess yeah, not to this level. I think Jazz Jennings was middle class. I think that I think Jazz Jennings' parents did, did a Chris Jenner. Let me monetize this situation. They got a show deal. They got a book. You know what I'm saying? They kind of, I think they played it smart. They ain't got NBA money, right? Right. And they're not black. So I think this is the first time that we are seeing a black trans person grow up in privilege. So why I'm emphasizing that is because I think we're gonna see a different, most of the time, the story that you see about trans people is gonna be rooted in their trauma. It's gonna be rooted in their journey from being negatively impacted by their transness to overcoming it, overcoming obstacles. But we're not going to see that with Zaya. Zaya is growing up with a supportive parent, within rich money, going to the best schools, she's going to be a black trans Nepo baby. And I appreciate that. That's a new narrative. Is she gonna experience transphobia? Absolutely, but totally not to the level that any of the rest of us are gonna experience it. It's gonna be a whole different beast. And it's gonna be heavier in some levels too. You feel what I'm saying? It's gonna be heavier because of celebrity. It's gonna be heavy. The struggle stories be sad as fuck. Let's see a rich kid. Yes, let her be. Excuse me. Let her be free and living on yachts and shit. I want to see that. I'm sorry. I know I'm anti-capitalist, but child, I want to see a girl be free and live in lavish. A dark-skinned trans princess, baby. She's about to be sickening. She's about to eat. She's about to eat it. Which is what I don't like her fashion, but I'm an old school. But her fashion is giving, I don't know, it's giving me, I'm old, so I don't know about the kids' fashions nowadays, the alpha kids. But I can't wait till she get into her girl era, her woman era, young woman era. Because I'm a film and I like films to be films. Show me what it gives, baby. A woman. dreads, I just don't feel like it's possible for them not to. When you're at that level of money, there's very few of us there. When you got to go to private school with security, I think it's very few. I don't want to say it's not there at all, but even if you listen to Blue Ivy, you listen to who other these other rich kids. You listen to Willow and Jaden, like these black rich kids. Like you hear their voice, you can tell they grew up with whiteness centered, baby. Maybe not whiteness in the sense of identity, but that that rich private school white culture. But then your money still isolates you from your cousins and shit because half the time, also, there's a difference between new money and old money. When you coming from your parents has already weeded out the cousins who the family members who might be just trying to be fucking with you because of money. So they probably done cut all of them motherfuckers off. So yeah, I don't know. That's why what's the Jordan Woods? That's why she was in cahoots with them Kardashians because these are the it girls. I wonder how she navigating this passport stuff because her family travels around the world. I wonder how are they navigating the passport stuff. I see Hunter Schafer. She had a video talking about how they switched her gender marker on her passport. I have my passport. My gender marker's changed, but I don't have to renew my passport until 2031. So I don't have to worry about it until then. But I don't know if y'all remember the video that I did about getting my gender marker changed. But one of the reasons why it was so easy for my gender marker to be changed is because my birth certificate doesn't have a gender marker at all. Like it doesn't have a M or a F. Because in Indiana, if you was born before 1990, in 1990 they switched over to a different kind of birth certificate. And you know how like on driver's license they switched over to like the kind that can scan or got some like not hieroglyphics. I'm about to say hieroglyphics. Not hieroglyphics, but it got some like it's those kind of special kind of IDs that got a new kind of technology on it. That's just not a fucking plastic thing. When they switched over to the more up-to-date birth certificates, they started doing things differently. And that was in Indiana, that was 1990. Of course, I wasn't born in 1990. So Before 1990, you had like those old school birth certificates. And if you are a junior, if you're a junior, just because you are a junior, even though in certain states you can be a female child and um and be a junior, but usually boys are juniors. And I was a junior. I took my dad's last name. Well, quote unquote, my dad. And so because of that, they assume that you don't need to put M because you are a junior. So they didn't put an M or F. They just put my name, my daddy's name, my mama's name, and that's it. They didn't put an M or F because the assumption is if you are a junior, you are a M. But they didn't put it. So when I changed my name to my legal name to Diamond, now my birth certificate says my legal name, Diamond, my mama name, my daddy's name, and no gender marker because I have changed my make sure y'all thumbs up. I have changed my gender marker because I've changed my name. So there's no gender marker at all because you don't put gender markers on juniors' birth certificates. So when I brought my stuff to the DMV, all I had to do was put F and they saw F and they put F. It was very I didn't need to go through a process of changing it. It was just they saw F, they saw F on the paper that I wrote, but on the birth certificate it's nothing. It's no gender. So that was a clerical luck. And so all of my information, I didn't have to go and change it. But I wonder how more celebrity people are navigating those spaces. Right. I never had to change it. Like I never had to change it at all. I had to change my name, but I didn't have to change the marker. I had to use a fake doctor's letter that they didn't even attempt to verify. Yeah. That's what I was ready to do, CL, but because my birth certificate didn't have anything on it, they didn't even ask. They just, I think, I think they saw a girl. I put an F. There was no M at all, and so there was nothing to be like, oh, this says F. This F. There was nothing to. I don't think there was anything to trigger this woman's mind to require me to do some extra shit. She saw a girl, she saw F. There was nothing on the birth certificate that says F or M, so she just went along with the F. And I didn't say nothing. It's like, no. I came in there wash faced, very regular. I hit it. I didn't say nothing. I said I just was regular because she didn't clock me. That's how my friend did. They were like, "Oh my," it was literally my friend didn't even have to say nothing. She came in there and the lady said, "Oh my God, it's an M on here. Let me change that." And changed it to F with no resistance. Oh my God, why would somebody put an M? Literally went in the system and delete and put an F. That's how easy it. Hmm. Are we back? Or is it freezing? What's the tea? Okay, Lord. I think we ain't gonna be able to do this for long. But I wanted to talk about the young man that died during the hazing thing in at Southern University. But I don't. Maybe I can wait till they fix this shit. Yes, they did make an arrest. His name is hey Ricky. So his name was Caleb McCrae. The one who died was Caleb Wilson. Caleb McCrae is the one that did the punching. So they said that after McCrae punched Wilson 4 times in the chest, Wilson collapsed to the floor and he became unresponsive. Wilson appeared to have suffered a seizure and lost control of his bodily functions. No sign of other kind of trauma was found on his body except for a small bruise on his right on the right side of his chest. So there is additional testing that needs to be done, but McCrae had no intention to cause the death or bodily harm of Wilson. So apparently he is probably going to be charged with some type of manslaughter charge, like accidental death type situation. Um, because the police is saying it's very clear that he didn't have an intention to kill him. It was hazing, but it's like, what do you this person is dead though. But Southern University suspends now they did try to cover it up. They said that when they brought him to the hospital, the men, because they're not supposed to be hazing, like that's you're not supposed to do that. So they lied and said that he collapsed while playing basketball at the park, but in fact he had suffered an injury at a flooring company warehouse. And I guess they picked his body up and took him to the hospital, I guess, because they brought him to the hospital. The group left before the police arrived at the hospital, and no one contacted 911 at any point. They changed Wilson's clothes, bringing him to the hospital. So they literally was wearing it out. They literally changed his clothes, took him to the hospital, just doing shit that's not smart, man. The group left. Blah blah blah. Hazing can be a felony under the Max Gruger Act. Let me check out what that act is. Let me look that up. Okay, so there's an act that was passed, anti-hazing act that was passed in Georgia, of course, because all those black colleges, even though hazing happens at all schools around the country, but the ones they want to hold accountable are at the state that has all those damn black schools. Clock that T. Are we frozen or are we still here? Y'all not talking? Am I still on? Is it frozen or not? I see some hearts, so I guess somebody's here. Okay, cool. So yes, this act, this Georgia Anti-Hazing Act, which is the Max Groover Act. Let me put that in the chat so y'all can know about that, just in case y'all want to learn about it. I like to learn shit. So yes, that act, that is what they're, which brings like federal charges into it. Ooh. Hazing means any activity which endangers or is likely to endanger the physical health of a student or coerce the student through the use of social or physical pressures to consume food, liquid, alcohol, drugs, or any substances which subjects the student to likely risk of vomiting, intoxication, or unconsciousness, regardless of the student's willingness to participate in the activity. Right. They might shut down. They suspended that one. They didn't shut down all the other ones, but they did suspend the other one. They did suspend that particular one. And I've seen that happen anytime that a particular group gets caught hazing, they will be suspended for the campus for a longer period of time, like a long period of time. And that, like, I think it's about like 10 years, 10 or 5 years. I can't remember. But you got to remember, these organizations give a lot of money to the schools. So they don't be wanting to cut them out all the, all the way. It is a business. So, but I remember, yeah, they just go underground, but they can't pledge at that school though. So they can't you can't pledge at that school, so you have to pledge at another school. So yeah, it gets weird. Have y'all ever, what has anybody in the group that's here? It's 22 people. Make sure you thumb up. Is anybody in here in a sorority or a fraternity? You don't have to, I don't want you to tell me which one, but are you in one? I don't want you because I have other questions, but I don't want you to tell me which one it is. No, I went to Howard and saw it wasn't for me. My parents are though. Yeah, when I was at school, I wanted to be an AKA. I wanted to pledge, but they blocked me. The students were okay with it, but the administration of the AKAs was not. That was the boss at the school. That she was not. No, don't be sorry. It wasn't. I knew I would have regretted it. Well, I don't know if I would have regretted the experience just to have it because it's a part of Black college experience. But now that I'm older, I'm like, oh, I don't like it now. I would have regretted it in that sense where I'm like, I don't like those kind of orgs now. Same. I went to Howard, and there are two culture moves. Come on, HU, you know. Culty hiding in bushes too much. Yeah. What's the point of these orgs other than making friends? What is the point of these orgs other than making friends? They do community work. I know a bunch of orgs, but more m- in certain areas they're more active than others. Um, but they do. It's similar to saying why join a church. It's similar to that. Like you don't have to join a church, but there's reasons. If you're at a good one, they do good stuff. If you're at a good one, they do good stuff. It's a community that's already been a part of, that's already a part of something. It is tradition. It is like I said, they do a lot of community work and there it's a part of the culture networking, yes. It's a part of the culture of the school. It's a part of it's like joining a club. Like if you say, why why join the chess club? Why join the science kids club? Why join the 4-H club? It's a particular interest and that's revolved around college. And so it in when you're in college, it's you see it a part of the culture. So for me, I wanted to do it because it was a part of the college experience. Like it's a particular day that they are presenting. I don't know, I can't remember what the name of the day was, but they all in our school, they were all in the auditorium. Um and they had tables set up to where you get to pick what school you want to go to and it was interesting to everybody was wondering who would go where and who would pick where. And so, yeah, probate. And so it's just a part of the culture and everybody is talking about it and talking about yeah, everybody it's a big thing. It's huge. And it's I don't think it's negative. Um it was fun. It was a part of the culture. So yeah, that's what it felt like. It felt like this is just something a part of it's like I may not be in sports, but everybody is talking about the football player, the football team or the basketball team yeah, you go to this school, so this is the team that you're supposed to represent. So when we having pep rallies around the football team and everybody is talking about going to the pep rally, you don't have to, but this is a part of the culture. So let's go to the fun pep rally. So it's yeah, it's just a part of the culture. You don't need to do it. You don't have to do it, but it's just a part of culture. Do you have to pay to be in it? When you are in it, you have to pay dues. Yes. But not uncommon for any club. For any like clubs, there's some free clubs, but there's clubs that you pay due. Like for SAG, like acting guild, you have to pay dues at the acting guild if you're an actress. Or there's just yeah, that's not uncommon. Like if you at a country club, you got to pay dues. If you are yeah, being a part of groups, that's common. Yeah, paying dues is pretty common. Um Usually, especially if your parents are a part of it, they usually pay your initial dues. That's common. Um, but you can stop. You can stop. There's plenty of people who don't pay dues that still rock their letters, still go to events, still do stuff. Plenty of people that don't pay dues. Because once you get your shit, you in there. Um, And then what else? What else? What else? Yeah, it just was a part. It's just a part of you do. We I don't know if this is at every school, but at our school we had like step shows, and that was fun. That was dope. And each one of our groups had like um, different parties that was thrown by the the frats and the sorors, um, the Greeks. Divine Nine, baby. The parties, they were always fire and fun. They were just always fun. Like I love going to the Q Dogs party, and I love going to, even though I wanted to be an AKA, um, uh, I love going to the Delta parties because they were cool as fuck with me too. So I almost think that if I would wanted to be a Delta, I might could have become a Delta at my school because the Delta administration at my school were cool as fuck. So I might could have been a Delta, but I wanted to be an AKA. I mean, that is just, I mean, that was the one for me, girl. That was the one for me. I wanted to be AKA now. That was the girls who I live for at my school were the AKAs, baby. The girls that was more my speed, child. And we at our school, we had it wasn't like all light skinned AKAs. We had dark skin, fine as dark skin AKAs. We had light skin AKAs, browns. We had all kind of AKAs. Um, it's just the beat girls were AKA, baby. Y'all can't see me in my pink and green. I live. And my frogs and ivy. I would eat it up. I would eat that up. But yes, the parties that they threw, of course, wearing your letters to stuff, and it was just a part of the culture, man. I don't think it's negative. I don't think it's bad. I think it's dope. But what doesn't I don't see the purpose of hazing though. I don't see the purpose. The hazing that I know about, like I remember this girl, they put her through just like little mental tests. Like my homegirl, they put her through like mental tests. And like I remember one incident, they told the girl they had her in a room, and only way she could come out is if she showed her face. And so imagine being not locked, it's not dark in there, but she's locked in the room, and only way she could come out of the room is to show her face. But all of them is behind the door. So how do you show your face if you're behind the door? So the way she figured it out was she took her ID and slid it under the door. And so her ID had her face on it and she showed her face. And so they let her out. So shit like that. Like her hazing was about her being smart enough to figure shit out. It wasn't about violence. And she went through multiple tests like that. Like you gotta do tests. You gotta be smart enough to figure it out. And so kind of like a escape room type of deal. That's the way she described it. It wasn't violent for her. She was like, we just had to. Um, she was a what's the yellow and blue? Who's the yellow and blue? Women. Um, yellow, white, and blue. What is the fuck that? Sigma Gamma Rho. Sigma Gamma Rho. Yeah, that she was a Sigma Gamma Rho. But that makes sense for Sigma Gamma Rho because they also have the highest. In order for you to get into their sorority, they have the highest grade point average that you got to have the highest grade point average compared to everybody else. They are the highest. I think that they are 3.5, and everybody else is like a 3 or 3.2 or something like that. I can't remember. Um, Sigma Gamma Rho, you have to have the highest grade point average, so you can't be no, you know, slacker. You gotta have your fucking grades up. And so that makes sense for them to be more intellectual. They're like, baby, honey, we we need your grade point average, baby. I love the poodles, yeah. Um, I don't know if I ranked who I would want to be. I think it would be AKA Delta. Would I want to be a Sigma Gamma Rho or a Zeta? I might pick Zeta because my brother is a Sigma, so I'd be cool being a Sigma with my because Sigma and Zeta are the only brother and sister officially. Sigma and Zetas. Now, of course, Alpha and AKA is kind of because they're the first two men and women, so they kind of go together. Not officially, but they kind of put them together just naturally because they're the oldest ones. But who are officially brother and sister is Zeta and Sigma. Is Fantasia Sigma Gamma Rho? Is Toni Morrison? I think ain't Toni Morrison an AKA? Is Toni Morrison an Alpha Kappa Alpha? Yeah, she's an AKA. Toni Morrison is an AKA. Yeah. Let me see who else is AKAs. Maya Angelou is an AKA. Vanessa Bell Calloway, Loretta Devine, Ava DuVernay, Star Jones, Catherine Hughes, Alicia Keys. Honorary members: Jada Pickett Smith, and who's Wicked Girl, which is ironic. Cynthia Erivo, she's a honorary AKA. Coretta Scott King, come on. Our vice president. Yeah, so I would definitely be. Let me see who. Yolanda Adams. Wow, I forgot about her. Come on, Brandy. Felicia Rashad, of course. Don't she give you AKA? You notice anybody of significance or success has to be from these organizations because they gatekeep. What do you mean by that, Shanae? What are they gatekeeping? Explain that. What are they gatekeeping? Oh, Wanda Sykes. Lynn Whitfield, of course. Ella Fitzgerald. Oh, of course. I would have been a great AKA. This would have been dope. What y'all mean by gatekeeping? Gatekeeping what? I feel like that's gatekeeping being in the org. That's just a part of the that's a part of being Greek. Yeah, that's a part of like gatekeeping is built into the like it's like an elite group. Yeah, but it's meant to be that. It's not hiding that it's that. You're supposed to be the creme de la creme of education. I wouldn't say secret society. It's not secret. I wouldn't say secret. But it is meant intentionally to be elite. It is a club. It's not meant to be accessible. It's meant to be the elite, the educated elite. It is definitely it definitely gives academia country club vibes. Seeing Angelina Jolie's daughter cross AKA was cute. Hmm. Who are some? Let me see who's some famous deltas. Who are some famous Delta Sigma Thetas? Oh, they got some cute names too. Lena Horne. Lena Horne was a Delta. Roberta Flack, rest in peace. Natalie Cole. Oh, I didn't know K. Michelle was a Delta. Rudy, yep. Keisha Knight, Pulliam. Kim Coles. Aretha Franklin was a Delta. Work. Honorary Delta. She didn't pass. She didn't walk. Cross. um, Ruby D. Oh, this is Shirley Caesar. Come on. Down home. Shirley Chisholm. Shirley Chisholm crossed. Um, Keisha Lance Bottoms. Candace Wiggins, basketball. Shirley Chisholm. I'm gagged. Shirley Chisholm walked. Not that I'm gagged that she couldn't, but I didn't. I thought she would be like honorary, but she actually walked. She actually crossed in the chapter. Mary McLeod Bethune. Fannie Lou Hamer. Oh, she was honorary. She didn't cross. Come on, Soledad O'Brien. I wouldn't even think she would cross a black chapter. Is that shady? Melissa Harris Perry was a Delta. I didn't know she was a Delta. Nikki Giovanni with a Delta. There's a lot down home, honey. I like these. AJ Johnson. She crossed. Anjanou Ellis. She crossed. Oh, these girls are crossing, not just honorary, baby. Betty Shabazz. Mhm. Oh, that's dope. I love that. Joy Reid. Joy Reid is a Delta. Work. Let me see. Who is some famous Sigma Gamma Rose? Vanessa Bell Armstrong. Work. Gospel icon, baby. Now, some of these names, I don't know. Latavia Destiny's Child. Come on, Hattie McDaniels. First African American Oscar winner, baby. Hattie. But did they cross, though? Are they honorary or did they cross? MC Light. Oh, Tressie McMillan Cotton. That makes sense. She will have a high grade point average. She's like, I love her. Beverly Jenkins. Kelly Price. That's interesting. Who is this white lady? Baby, this look like a white woman. Hadia Broadbent. Would you join any black sorority? I would have joined AKA. Not now, but when I was in college, I would have joined AKA. Um, yeah, it's not. Let me see. Who are some celebrities Zetas? Zeta Phi Beta. Oh, Dionne Warwick, Cheryl Underwood, Shaka Khan. Oh, these are some Zetas. Minnie Riperton, Esther Rose, Gwendolyn Brooks. Come on, Zetas. I knew I knew Vivica Fox. Yeah, Tatiana Ali. All right. Word out. Selena Johnson. Zora Neale Hurston. Come on. Anita Hill. Now these are some names I didn't know. You can come inside me. You come inside me. Do you want? Now hold on. How you get in here? Oh, that is for the men's. They done put a boy in here. I was like, how he get in here? But he he crossed one of the boys. He's a white boy, Zeta, Zeta 5 something. I guess you got. Mm. All right, is it back now? I think it might be back. I see y'all hearts. Yes, I do have what I need now, and I'm far removed from college life, so I don't really care about it as much as I did when I was younger. Now I just don't like organizations. I think they corny. so, do you come inside me? Do you wanna ride? Side my love. Will you come inside me? Will you come inside me? Do you wanna ride? Side my love. Mm. But all right, y'all. I'm about to be up out of here. YouTube is being weird and fucking up the flow of the conversation. But yeah, make sure y'all go check out Zeta. I'm not Zeta's. Zaya Wade's article on and yeah, I'm gonna be following this little case about the hazing. Um yeah, I found it interesting. But yeah, y'all be good. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Y'all should be asleep. All right. Bye bye.